My name is Suzanne Vargas. I am a graduating senior at Sonoma State University. I am 21 years old and I identify as fluid, which is basically similar to bisexual, but instead of saying that there are only two sexes, male and female, fluid recognizes that there is something bigger than just two aspects to the gender polar dynamics, basically. Absolutely peers. Yeah, of course I've experienced harassment. I guess with peers, it's expected more often, just being out, going to a bar, going anywhere, you kind of get sexual responses. This makes me want to laugh because yes, I've definitely been sexually harassed at my job. Um, I've definitely been sexually harassed at almost every job that I've had. Um, for the most part, though, it's not enough of a deal to make me want to leave the job or change it, which is not a good thing. I mean, I feel like the majority of it has gotten to a point where when I look back on it, it's like, oh, well, you kind of have to expect that. And that's not true. That shouldn't be what is actually happening. But I would say that that's definitely been my history. So, how was it handled by my employer? They said it wasn't a big deal, basically. Always men. I've I've been harassed a few times when I was a bartender by women, but always men, always, and always men who like. I receive a lot of harassment when it's like they ask me like, "Are you dating this woman?" And I say yes, and they're like, "Oh, we'll blow her off. Like, you're too pretty to be gay. Like, what are you doing with a woman? Like, you need to be with me." Or just like not respecting the fact that I am actually in a committed relationship with a woman. And this doesn't mean that like I'm waiting to be with a man. It means that I have a connection with her and I want to be with her. I would say that everyone has different reasons, but when you get down to the very end of it, I think it's because they don't understand, because they're afraid of it in some way, that they're scared that having friends might turn them gay or queer, that they don't really understand. That would be the majority of it. And from my experience, I've gone to quite a few different protests and I've been very active in the queer community. And whenever there's any kind of resistance, it's not like I don't agree with what you're doing. It's like I fucking hate you. Get the fuck out of here. You're going to hell. Like yeah. All of these people have been in hell for like 3 years, 49 days, 3 hours, like counting it down, like just like up in your face screaming hatred at you. And that's one aspect of hatred where like I just don't understand. Like how can you hate that much? Like what is it about me that makes you want to hate so much? Because it doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with them and them not understanding and not being able to stop and try and like actually look into it from like a neutral area. Uh, all right, like I'm okay with that. I just don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want it around me. And like I've experienced that a lot on like in dorms or like in classes where other women, I would say, a lot of women get really uncomfortable where it's like if I tell them that I've been in a relationship with a woman, they get uncomfortable and think that I'm going to start hitting on them, or like because they are a woman, I automatically want to have sex with them. Yes, absolutely. I grew up in the Bay Area bubble, and I know what it's like to always feel accepted or comfortable and not have to fear anything. But I mean, when I was 16, a transgender person in my neighborhood was brutally tortured and murdered because she was transgender. And my best friend, her roommate, had had his head like slammed against her bedpost until like he was killed with brain matter scattered across her bed. Like when I was in the UK, I had people like throw rocks at me when I was walking to work because I was on the street where there were like where the gay clubs were at, you know? Yes, I definitely hold that back at times. And in some ways I'm really lucky because I can pass as being straight, and so people don't automatically assume that I'm gay. But what about the people who can't? You know, like, that's not fair. They don't have the option to withhold. And even just when people make little comments like, that's so gay, like, I might not know you and you might not know the fact that I identify as queer, but you saying that makes me think like, oh, maybe you're not okay with me. Like, should I tell you? Like, do I really want to be honest with you and open with you? Lots of changes. That would be amazing. I would like to be able to marry the person that I love. That I would love that. I would like every state in the US to pass some form of law that says a hate crime includes your sexual orientation. I would like there to not be the #1 hate crime in Georgia to be against queer people. I would like to not always be scared if I go to a new place. That's what I would like. And I would like people to be more open.